Hey, it's Monday. It's early here. 7 in the morning, Monday, June 19th, 2023. Today is actually the day that my younger brother, it's his birthday. Were he still living, he would have turned 66 today. So cheers to the memory of my little brother. In memory of him, I'm going to show some jazz, some of his records that I ended up with when he passed. Don't want to call them heirlooms because, as far as I'm concerned, it's a shame he's gone. Let me get myself together here. I just got up. First cup. Cheers, people. Got the fan on. Most likely today, though, I'll put in the window air conditioner. It's supposed to get up to 95 today. I don't have central air. My central air unit died years ago, and something I did just kind of neglected. And by the time I had it looked at, it was like they said, may as well replace this. I don't know if that's true, but I said just to hell with it. So I got a message this weekend from someone who offered to loan me the money to put the Muse out on vinyl, and I declined because if you still watch me, David, down in Florida, way back in 2012, 10 years ago now, 10, 11 years ago now, that I accepted a loan from a member of the VC to make Dereck number 3 on vinyl, and it was successful. The folks that loaned me the money got their money, got it back, and I made a little. But at this point, I don't want a loan. I don't want that. I don't think I'm wrong in thinking and saying that if someone, a record company, someone that makes records, if you just put this on your damned schedule and release it, there's a lot of people releasing records that are utter crap, and they don't sell. My album isn't crap, but it will sell. I don't particularly feel like going out and pounding the pavement trying to find a record company. If it happens, it happens. But I don't want a loan. No. So, in thinking of my brother Patrick, interestingly, we come from a musical family, and we're pretty close, but my brother Patrick has always made fun of a lot of my musical taste. He didn't get it. He's big traditional jazzer, loved my father and everything about my father's lifestyle. And my dad was definitely a jazzer. So just thought I'd share that. So in starting, here's Gene Ammons, who was a friend of my dad's. Now, if Gene ever was around when I was a kid, I don't remember him. I kind of doubt it. Or if so, this was back when I was just a toddler and when we lived in Chicago. But this is one I remember well from childhood, the Twister. This is not my dad's copy, but he had a copy. And if I put this on, I heard it so much that I could probably hum one of the solos on here. There are several John Coltrane albums like that, ballads, where my dad wore that album out, learning from John Coltrane to the point that I can hum some of the solos. This was another big one in the house, and this was my brother's copy, not my dad's. My dad's was trashed. Boss tenor, Gene Ammons. I wish I could tell you some stories about my dad when he was friends with Gene. They probably got in trouble together. if you don't know, the big sound of Gene Ammons on tenor saxophone. Time to get hip. This is one of my brother's albums. The Boss is Back on Prestige. Another one out of my brother's collection. The Black Cat. He was badass, you know. He really was. And not everyone, but a lot of people played with him. I see that Rodden Carter and Idris Muhammad are on this album with him. Here's some more records that belong to my brother. I just grabbed them. I have them in like a spot. Kind of like not really a shrine, but it's like this spot where these records. He really liked Jeff Lorber. I do too. I turned my brothers on to Jeff Lorber. They didn't know about Jeff. I got one of Jeff's very first albums and turned a bunch of people onto it. Okay. It doesn't have a cover. My brother loved Kenny Burrell and Wes Montgomery. I ought to pull some of those. But here's a double LP reissue of Kenny Burrell and John Coltrane. I personally preferred my brother's style to Kenny Burrell. And growing up, I never really warmed up to Kenny Burrell's guitar playing, although I give him respect, but he never really did it for me. My brother loved the hell out of this. Super Sax plays Bird with Strings, and the Charlie Parker album with strings, which I'm pretty sure I have Patrick's copy. I think I do. I know I have this. He loved this album. He loved it. Here's some records that of his that got water damaged somehow. Wardell Gray with Dexter Gordon. This is old. The Chase and the Steeplechase. Now that's another guy, Dexter Gordon, in the back there with the big smile, cheesy smile. That's another friend of my dad's. Now my brother Patrick got to hang out with Dexter one of the last times Dexter was in Omaha before he died. And I passed on going with my dad and Patrick after the show, which is I did a lot actually. So I missed meeting Dexter. Probably was around Dexter as a small kid. My dad and Dexter were tight. This is sitting over, again, it's in terrible shape. The History of Wes Montgomery. Separate from my Wes Montgomery section over here. Cannonball Adderley, another name. This is actually, what did I say? That's coming up. This is Jimmy Smith, organ grinder, swing with Kenny Burrell and Grady Tate. This is definitely my brother and my dad's wheelhouse. I didn't play that stuff. I don't play that stuff that much, but I love it, respect it, and it's part of my DNA. Here's Cannonball Adderley. Now, I thought my dad knew him. This is Coast to Coast featuring Nat Adderley. For some reason, I thought either my dad knew him or met him, went to his show. I thought there was a live album of Cannonballs that my dad was in the audience. But when I posted that, I was corrected. Someone saying that it was not a live album. They're sitting pretty close here. I can grab some. Can I? Come on. Here we go. My brother loved Charlie Parker. Well, all the greats. He loved all the greats. Johnny Griffin. I have all of them. I didn't feel like doing a dedicated pull. I thought I'd just pull some. Speaking of my brother. Ultimate Charlie Parker, 1949 to 1956. The Master. Again, one of my brother's albums he probably just played the absolute hell out of. Here's one that I bought recently, Jazz at Midnight, Charlie Parker. A obvious posthumous release. If I remember correctly, is this limited edition on blue vinyl? Yeah. Blue note on blue vinyl, right? I said, yeah, I'll get that. Charlie Parker was crazy, but he was amazing. He did change music, the way that he soloed, and it's all here captured on these records. They called him Bird because the way he would take flight, like no one we'd ever heard before. Not that he was the only one that could do it, but as far as we know, he was the first, and he was amazing. Bird and Dizzy Gillespie, Bud Powell, incredible musicians. My dad did get to see Charlie Parker in concert. Bird is Free. This is my copy, but my dad had this when I was a kid, and he played this to death. It's not a good sound quality, but the solos, the playing on here is incendiary. It's like the house is on fire. It's like it's incredible. A couple more, but I actually have more. West Coast Time with Charlie Parker. And this one is cool. This is a Charlie Parker album, broadcast performances on the ESP label. Getting that cool underground treatment from the label. Now, if I remember this correctly, this is also one of those records. Yeah, I can't really show it to you, but when you put it up to the light, it's not black. It's this deep red. Oh yeah, this is one where also, I don't know how often this happened, but this one has a slide, a cell, excuse me, that came with the album. So I still miss my brother very much. He was my only sibling left in town, and we did regularly spend time together. I just loved him, like the rest of my family. But we could hang. I'll share this though. After my brother got divorced, and it was primarily because of his drug habit that just ruined his marriage and some other things, crack. My brother ended up really down and out for a while. He was in Wichita, Kansas, and was working a business, and that didn't go well. Ended up back here in Omaha. Stayed with me for a while in the living room as I was insisting, you get your own place, you got to get out of here. It's like, this is temporary. But it was apparent to me that my brother really didn't know how to take care of himself, honestly. His ex-wife was still involved behind the scenes even after they were divorced. I found out years later. Well, I found out at his memorial when Wendy came and we talked. She was still helping, and it became obvious to me that my brother really can't take care of himself. So what am I about to say? I'm about to say, so would I have done anything differently? What I'm saying is that had I let my brother stay with me permanently, would he still be here? Chances are yes. But do I regret my decision? No. Because I know what it's like to take care of people. Started when I was a child, before I even had a choice. I was, helping constantly with my mom's health and mental health. And so I know it also has to do with my older brother and his situation, why my family, none of them wants to take him in. Because if you take him in, then your life changes, and you're taking care of him, or his, whatever's going on with him becomes what's going on with you because it's in your home. I didn't want that. This is what I want, is to live alone, have my records, have my coffee, have my time and my space. I miss my brother, but no, I had to make the decision I made to not take care of him. May he rest in peace. I'm not hardwired like that. Some people are like that, where they want to take care of people, or somehow they take it on and they accept the burden, because it can be a burden as well as a blessing, and sometimes a privilege to care for others, to take care of others. I know all those aspects of it, actually. I do. But I know I like living alone and wanted to live alone, and that's what I'm doing. May he rest in peace. So, yesterday was Father's Day. I hope that you folks enjoyed the day. All your fathers, all your families, um, honoring your dads or not. That's mainly what I want to share, today. Thinking about my brother. Okay. As always, folks, talk to me.